Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't go into a game like this expecting that kind of, game to break out, to be honest with you. But, I mean, we obviously, when the three balls start going in the way they did early, I think that just energizes everybody, and defense gets a little bit better, and confidence just stays up the whole game. I thought everybody was stepping into shots, and everybody was creating shots and playing pretty hard.
What can you really say about Joel, just with his ability to just make plays for others?
Well, he draws a lot of attention, right? Because he's, such a good scorer, and usually you got to take your choice of how you're gonna stop him, or you're gonna come off of people, and we just keep working on all the things that we possibly can see with them sending multiple players to us, and some of it's taken some time, but we'll just keep working at it, and he's certainly willing to fire it to guys, and he's doing a pretty good job of that. And I think he's mixing it up pretty good. I think when he does see some space, he's going to go down. I'm super impressed with how much he's going to the basket and how much he's offensive rebounding. Right, those are big buckets when he just decides, all right, I'm going to go get the offensive rebound, stick it back in. It's a little, those are big spirit lifting plays for us.
It looked like when you got those quick two on him, you guys went into a 2-3. It looked like for a decent chunk of that. Was that the plan to do that, or was that a byproduct of him getting in foul trouble? And it seemed like it had some success against them.
Yeah, it's a little of both, Tim. I mean, I think that's one way when you're trying to protect somebody from fouls. Do go to zone some, but it was also the product of we didn't get off to a very good start defensively. Right, we just were like, just something to kind of shake us up too. So that's kind of the other. Usually you're trying to change some rhythm of a game, and it was our bad defensive rhythm we were trying to change, and then that was just kind of extra as well.
The attention that Joe draws, how much did that contribute to the three-point shooting tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot. He probably had, 11 assists. Most of those were, I'd probably say 8 or 9 of those were probably kick out for threes, and there was a couple back cuts as well sprinkled in, and again, that's kind of what we're trying to do. If you're gonna take one thing away, we're trying to see the other one. So he sprinkled in again a little bit of rim cutting, but most of them were kick outs. So again, he's playing. That's it, man. When you draw attention, make the right basketball play, and he did that tonight.
Lifted, Marcus and Patrick and that bench unit for you guys.
Yeah, those two guys especially. They're not only out there on the court tonight gave us a lift, but they've been great lift for about the last 5 or 6 days. They've really shown some veteran presence in practice film, pushing everybody to get really focused in and locked in and stuff, and it's great that they get rewarded with some three balls, and I think they're both pretty good shooters career-wise, 36 to 38 for career threes, and asking them to take them if their opportunities are there, and again, it's good that they stepped into them and made them tonight.
Tyrese had a 20-point first half. I feel like the script for him a lot of this year has been more second half heavy scoring. What do you think allowed him to get off to such a
Yeah, he had mentioned that he was just going to come out and be way more aggressive at the start tonight. He did. He just said, man, I got to get into the game sooner. It's kind of was his comment. He obviously did that, right? Think that and he was moving so good, and even all that back and forth between him and Joel. But when he was turning on the jets, he was getting separation for a three left or turning the corner, and I thought he played a little more physical than he's been playing too. He decided to, instead of getting run into, he started to doing the running into right a few times when he turned the corner with a lot of speed and put his shoulder down, but he was just I think his mindset was going in there to go a little earlier tonight.
What do you think was it, Morgan? A player comes to you like that before a game and says, I want to be more aggressive, or I need to be. Do you automatically go to, I got to design more looks for him as a scorer?
I mean, listen, he creates a lot of that stuff on his own. I did more after when he started hitting some threes. I started designing. There was maybe 3 play calls that came back and he got threes on those. So I was more designing him for that. But more, you probably won't be surprised by this answer, when he tells me I'm going to be more aggressive tonight, I say, well, I should only tell you that every day. I tell you that every day. I mean, good. You tell me once. I said, well, you got a few to catch up. But so it's good.
What do you think was the driving force behind him telling you that before the game and feeling that way?
Just kind of what those guys already mentioned. I think he's maybe sat back and tried to get a bunch of people involved. Was really trying to get people involved, and I don't know. He just decided tonight was the night he was going to be a little bit more, turning the corner. We also knew game plan wise too that we didn't think they were going to let the ball go back to Joel much in the pick and roll. So that means he's got to turn the corner, right?
Yeah, this is pretty easily the best passing game of Joel's career, one of them. What have you seen this season from him that's different in terms of how he reads the floor compared to when you coached against him in the past?
Well, I'm just still learning some stuff, right? But I think that I'm trying to put him in positions where he can see better and get him out of the positions that are more difficult for him. And I think I'm learning some of those, or we are. And again, we spend almost every day we do something where we put him places and move the pieces, and he stays in, and 4 new guys come in, and we do it again. And we're just trying to figure out. Just where he's more comfortable, right, and where he sees best. And then again, the other guys got to do what they're supposed to do too. And a lot of that's involving a lot more movement, I think, than the past. So we're constantly on, the cutting and the relocation and the respacing rather than just standing there with your hands up.
Batum in the last few days, he guarded Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Tonight, some LeBron, even some Davis in spurts. I guess how valuable is it to have someone who can guard so many different, spectrums of the league? Yeah,
it's super valuable, right? It's super valuable in a lot of ways. And he just does a lot of it by working. He's up the floor, picking up full court. He's in denial a lot, so the guy doesn't even get it back. I mean, that's the easiest way to guard somebody if they don't have the ball. You can keep them from getting it or keeping them, pushing them out and getting them higher on the floor. He does a lot of that, but it is a pretty good ripple effect on our team because it allows us to move some other pieces around defensively too. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Your coach.
Yeah, I just felt like I was the past, I don't know, maybe 6-7 games, in the first quarter, I was just kind of out there just trying to go with the flow. And I think that hurts our team more than it helps us. And when I say aggressive, I don't mean just shooting the ball every time. It's me being aggressive, trying to get into the paint, trying to kick out the shooters, and then also looking for my shot as well.
You said go with the flow, but I think that sort of doesn't tell the full story of what you've been doing to get your teammates involved in the first quarter. So as a point guard, how do you balance that decision you kind of have to make, getting them involved versus getting yourself going?
Yeah, I can do both. I think now I was trying to early get guys like Tobias, Melt, Nick, big fella, who guys who come in, get shots early, because I feel like I have the ball in my hands a lot. I know I have opportunity to score. So if you can get those guys going early and then keeping guys like Melt happy, who does Melt, Nicholas, who do all the dirty work. I always tell P. Reed, he runs up there, set screen, does all those different things, and I'll tell him I'll make sure I can get him at least 2-3 shots a game for sure when I'm out there with him. So if you can try to help those guys, I think that's a good deal.
You've been Joel's teammate now for 4 years. I guess, does it kind of surprise you at all when he's been putting up performances like he does tonight?
No. It's sad though, right? I try not to take it for granted, but it's just we expect it out of him, And my job now is to try to push him to be even better every single night, and that's what I try to do. And he's really good at basketball. I would keep telling y'all that. Y'all ask me at every other game, and he's just really good.
To that point, Tyrese, how much of the uptick in assists for him comes down to the system and the changes you guys have made versus improvements you've seen him individually make since you've been there?
Well, let him tell it. If we just make threes, then he'll get it every night. So, but I think Coach Nurse has done a good job of having Joel really buy in to the system, to the movement, to him sometimes bringing the ball up the court and being a playmaker. they have to help, or he can play one-on-one. So we have guys that can make shots, and Joel trusts us. So because we have guys that make shots, because we have Nick Nurse who's kind of put in a different kind of system, it's been pretty good for us.
What kind of allowed him to, this was a season high 11 assists for him tonight, and maybe what specifically was he able to see, besides you guys obviously making three-pointers, but within that, what was he able to see to get all those assists tonight?
Like I said, I mean, he did a good job of, sometimes I get a outlet and I give it to him, and we'd all just run 4 flat. And because, like I said, he's pretty good, so they got to help. It's hard to guard him one-on-one. When they help, he's fine open guys on time, on target. And when he does that, we're hard to guard because we have guys that can knock down shots.
Threes in the game tonight, was that part of it just because of the flow of the game, the way the game went, the design, or just how big did that basket look to you guys tonight?
We got some good looks early. We get good looks early. It's hard to stop, shooting them. Guys were open. I think Marcus, he had some open shots. Pat Bev had some open threes. And we tell guys not to pass them up. I feel like we have the ultimate confidence in guys to shoot open threes, and that's what they did tonight.
You just kind of touched on it, but what kind of lift did Marcus and Patrick and that bench unit give you guys?
I mean, they were huge. They were huge. I think Marcus is finally starting to come into his own with his role, and he's beginning to be extremely aggressive. And that's what we need from him, especially if they're going to have open threes like that, or open shots, middies, and stuff like that. Pat was great. Pat's hilarious. His energy is always amazing, and what he brings to the table is really good. Paul Reed was great as well. He was out there. He was active while he was out there. I think he was like a plus 33 in like 15 minutes, and that's like unheard of. So shout out to those guys.
What is it about this matchup against the Lakers? I mean, we talked about a little bit, and I mentioned it to you in the locker room. 7 straight and 10 out of the last 11 that you guys were able to beat them.
So we just go out there and try to play hard. Go out there and try to win games. I don't know. I really don't, honestly. Until some of those games I didn't play in, so I don't remember. But anyway, it's been great though, honestly. I mean, I don't think this was much Lakers. I think this was like Sixers. We were going out there trying to be better versions of ourselves than we were last game. I think we closed the game out this time a lot better than we did last game. We were kind of disappointed in that. So for us to go out there and do that wire to wire professionally, it was really good.
I think it was on your podcast that you talked about the way that you've gone toe-to-toe work ethic-wise with LeBron James in the last couple of years. Can you share a little bit more about the sort of influence he's been on your game and what it's like to play against him?
Yeah, I mean, the numbers, everything speaks for itself. He's also someone who's pretty good at basketball, and I feel like his work ethic now in what year is this, 22, 21? It hasn't slowed down, which is the crazy part to me. Like, he's still trying to get there early. And like, when we worked out at 6, he's still trying to beat me to the gym. Like, he has, 4 MVPs, finals MVP. He has all those things. Like, his accolades are through the roof. And for him to still go out there and his want to and his drive to try to beat a young 22-year-old to the gym who hasn't done anything, that just shows who he is, man. And that's, hats off to him.
Can you share exactly what happened? You showed up at 6, then he insisted on being there at 5:30.
Yeah, it was just, workout was at 6. I get there early, like always, 5:30 to stretch. The next time we work out at 6, he was there at 5 o'clock. When I walked in, he was in a full sweat. I said, "What's wrong? What are you doing?" And he was like, "I can't let you beat me to the gym." And I was like, "You're insane." He was in a full sweat, just had to do the whole lift. So that whole week, he was trying to get there at 5, and I was like, I lift after this workout, so you got it, man. You win.
When Joe said a couple seasons ago that you wanted to take in 10 threes a game, that seemed a little outrageous at the time. Now you're already at 10 in the third quarter. Just how have you continued to develop that area of your game, and like when to pull the trigger? Just how is that even now with the role that you're playing?
Sometimes it's still unreal to me. I'm not gonna lie. But I just take them when I'm open and when I feel like it's a good look. It's a good shot for us. I feel like Coach Nurse, he keeps telling me, like, that's a high percentage, bless you, that's a high percentage shot for us. And, I'm going to take them just so I don't get yelled at by Joel or Coach Nurse. So I'm going to try to shoot them when I can, when I'm open. And, I feel like guys are shooting them as well. I've been on Tobias about shooting him because he's a great shooter. So when he's open, I want him to shoot. Melt, when he's open, I want him to shoot. And I think it's done a good job for us.
Tyrese, with the two-man game with you and Joel, like, how have you seen that come along this season, specifically when he's the one passing and you're the one trying to play off of him and score?
Yeah, It's interesting, man. It's hard. I think it's a hard cover. It's hard to figure it out. Sometimes I can handle, and he can set screens, and then if they're in drop, I can shoot threes. If they're up, I can probably pass to Joel. Like so many different things that we could do. We could play off the catch when he's handling or when he has the ball. But hats off to him. He's been extremely. He's been on me to be aggressive, and he's helped me a lot. And he's setting screens, and he's really looking for me and looking for all of us on the team. So Joel's, like I say, he's really bought in, and we appreciate him for that.
That two-man game, or are you reading the defense? Like, how are you trying to figure out what your next step is when you're in that?
I can't tell you that. No, I'm just playing. It's just a lot of different reads that goes on. If he goes under, pop back. If he denying, go back door. If he trailing me, then I curl sometimes. Like, it's just a lot of different things that we can do off of that. And that comes with a lot of repetition, a lot of practice, a lot of film. And, we're going to try to keep getting better at one day at a time, one game at a time.
You talk about being more aggressive. It seems like the last couple of games you've taken more shots in the mid-range even. Is that something like an adjustment maybe you've made to some of the things that defenses are doing to you?
Yeah, they're trying to take away my layups, trying to take away floaters, and then they're being extremely physical with me when I get to the paint. So if I feel like sometimes there's just no need to go in there and try to be super athletic or move the ball around and try to get fouled. Sometimes I can make a mid-range jump shot. I worked on it, gotta trust it, and it's a good look for me. It's a good look for us as a team as well.